Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. For the conversation today, I traveled over to Front Royal on Monday afternoon to see the Warren County Habitat for Humanity house. It is one of 3 that are just about ready for families to move in. I'm talking with Andrea Ross. She is Executive Director for Warren County Habitat for Humanity, and she told me something pretty incredible right before we started recording. So let's jump in there. You just literally told me before I turned the mics on that as we're sitting here on a stormy Monday afternoon, your Habitat family for this house that we're sitting in is going to closing. So by the time people are listening, they are true homeowners.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. Hi, Janet. I can't explain the level of emotion because we have been so invested in seeing this family's dreams come true. When I had walked through with the family, she's got 3 kids. One of them found a little cubby hole right in the pantry. He's like, oh, being able to see kids dream. Right now, rent is crazy. And so to know that at the end of their lease term, it's not going to go up another $200, $300, $400.
And it's theirs. They don't have to call a landlord if they want to paint a wall. They don't have to call a landlord if they want to hang something on a wall. It belongs to them. Their financial security is all tied up right here in this house.
It is absolutely tied up in this house. Great way to say that. They asked a question of me the other day. I'm like, it's your house. And I love saying that. I'm like, they said, Miss Andrea, can we? I'm like, baby, it's your house. That's really exciting. I am joyous like it's one of my kids. I'm like, oh my goodness. Watching their families be super excited for them, knowing that life is changing for them. And it has been a long road, Janet.
It has not been without its challenges.
Oh, you know how people say blood, sweat, and tears?
Oh, yeah.
And we say it because it's just something to say. You know, that's real. That has been super real.
If you had $1 for every single time during this entire process that you did not think it was ever going to get to this point, you could build 6 more Habitat houses.
I absolutely could. Yes, sir. I absolutely could. We were at a point one time where we didn't even know if we could keep our own lights on. And to be here, to see the investment in not just our Warren County board, but the people in the neighborhood, the people in the county, the list of thank yous. And I was thinking about this, it's crazy. I was thinking about it a little earlier this afternoon, that I wish I was an artist because the foundation that I would draw on the house has got all the names, because that foundation is how this house got built. It was built on the people who have the selfless drive that just want to see other people win. It feels good. I mean, it's better to give than to receive, and we say it, we hear it. Yeah, not that we don't like gifts. We love gifts, it's great. But that gift of giving gives you such a feeling in the pit of your stomach that it just changes the world.
This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom monument to that. And it doesn't matter what they did. There are probably people on your thank you list, which I'm sure is 1.5 miles long, that did one little thing that made such a massive impact. And then there are the people that wrote those big checks that without that, you couldn't have been able to do this. None of it happens in a vacuum. It all has to happen when everybody comes together doing whatever small or large part they can do.
I'm glad you said it that way, because there are no bit parts at all in this process. Every moment, every step, every kind word was a part of that foundation. Everything, I think you've been present when I had to just kind of cry through it. Like, you've got to have the people who will just let you. It's hard, and it's worth it, but it's hard. And that's arguing with board members and board members arguing them back, thinking this is not worth it. But the reason why they're there is because they're passionate about what they do, and having so much passion sometimes
it complicates things.
It does, but ultimately everybody's heart is in the right place. So people thinking that we're all a big butter love fest, and the love is there, but it's just like a family.
That's not always apparent.
If you've got a sibling, you've tried to kill your sibling a time or two.
That doesn't even take into account the fact that no matter how much intention and how much money you have, there are so many outside factors that play into a project like this. You've got zoning, and you've got contractors, and you've got weather, and you've got the town says you can do this, so you start doing this, and then the town says, oh, actually, we didn't mean that. And so now you got to do something a little different. There are just so many things that come into play day after day after day.
It really is. We had somebody, and I tell you, it was the silliest thing, and I wanted to be mad, but I was like, you know what? I think the world needs something to complain about. But somebody literally called the newspaper to complain because once we dug the footers, they complained because it was raining and there was pools of water. What did they want us to do? And I'm like, we are trying. We are not fast. We are definitely the tortoise and the hare. We're going to get to the end. But if you're looking for lightning speed, it takes us a little longer to do that. But what we do is solid.
As are the families that end up in these houses. And that Happy at Home series was amazing. A couple of summers ago, Tim came and he spoke on behalf of Dotson Pest Control and explained to them that this is your job now. Again, you can't call that landlord and say, hey, I think I have a mouse. You can't call because you have bugs or that's on you now, and you have to know what your options are. And is it, I'm going to take care of it myself? Is it, I'm going to hire somebody? If I'm going to hire somebody, how does that impact my budget to be able to make my mortgage payment every month?
Those are the things that someone who's not had to deal with them is an education that some people say, oh, I wish I had known this before I got there.
Right.
So we really want to give our families that space. And mind you, I keep saying our families, but those Happy at Home series are open to the public. Those education pieces it's changing perspective. It's really all that it is. It's not that these families weren't working or saving. The families that we had selected were really good. They were making good money, but they were overcrowded. They were living in places that make no sense, dangerous places, things like that. And the cost of living is stupid.
It is impossible. If you are part of that Alice population, you go to the grocery store, and where you used to be able to buy a cart full of groceries to feed your family of 4, and it cost you $125, and now it's $250. And so are you putting food back and not feeding your family? That's a problem. You go to put gas in your car to get back and forth to work to the 3 jobs that you likely have, none of which, again, offer health insurance because none of them are full-time, and then you get sick. There are just these everyday problems that I know it annoys you as much as it annoys me, that people tend to look down their noses at. Real life, actual people that are just doing the day-to-day, and to have something like this at the end of a journey, which it then starts a whole new journey, I think is just so incredible.
It is. Unfortunately, we're at that place in society right now where people are looking for help. People who've never called and never needed help before, they are reaching out. They're reaching out. They're like, oh, your habitat, can you? And then some habitats do rentals. We don't do rentals. And I encountered a situation a couple weeks ago where an employee that works for a large organization here in Warren County brings home $2,700. Her rent was $24. Where's the success in that? Where's the win in that? How do we justify that as a community? That's not okay. And I want to be able to be a part of the solution in the smallest way possible. Yeah, we can't help everybody, and we're trying, because if we could, we would, really. We haven't started them back up because obviously we've been slightly distracted. This year has been a series of things. But that Happy at Home series that we do, I learned so much stuff.
Well, I know you learned a lot during
some of the stuff was kind of scary. But we had the first responders there. What should you know? Because you're now a homeowner, which means look out for your neighbor. If you notice a couple of packages sitting on your neighbor's door, and that's not normally their thing, pay attention to your neighbors. We're going back to that original neighborhood watch. You have children, pay attention to what's going on in your neighborhood. And so each step of the way in those Happy at Home series, estate planning, pest control, I think we did mold remediation. We talked about all of the things, and we brought experts. We had the trades, the contractors, and things like that. How do you know you're getting a good contractor? It was all of those things that play a part. It just didn't work out that last go round was automotive. Who's thinking automotive when you're thinking a house? But you're one tire away from not being able to get to work.
Hello, as somebody who lost her car for a week because the rear wheel well rusted out and had become detached from the frame and had to pay $800 to get it fixed, and then another $500 for a rental car because I could not have my car. And I'm thinking, okay, how is this gonna work in the grand scheme of a budget? You gotta pay attention, and prevention is so important. And I think that's what you taught so many of those people through that series is if you just don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it.
Then you can keep it from happening and save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of cash.
The small things turn into big things. You don't get to put your head in the sand when you're a homeowner because that's big. Address it, and where you're like, oh, I really don't have the money now, baby. If you don't have it now, you're not gonna have it then.
Right.
So
And it's cheaper now than it's going to be then.
And so that was the thing and so those education pieces are changing perspective. It's really all that it is.
So let's talk about the houses for a second. So we're sitting in one that will be fully occupied before Christmas. Certainly before Christmas.
Yes.
And then there are two more on this property that I think you're doing a very smart thing with, in that you're actually going to put them on the market.
Yes.
So that somebody can buy them, have the same American dream as everybody else, but then that money gets to go back into the pot, I say using air quotes, so that you can build more that you're still going to do on the street, because that's what you're building is communities, not just houses.
Say that again. Yes. Communities, neighborhoods. The dream I have in my head are the neighborhoods where you see the kids when they're little, and then they're little jerks in middle school and high school, then they go off to college or the military, going into the workforce, and then you watch how these children change, and then they bring home their person, and then there's weddings, and then there's grandkids. It's a neighborhood because they can afford to be there. Mom and dad don't have to keep moving because they can't afford it. That's how you build those neighborhoods. And realistically, while it's important to have rentals, mortgages offer that tax money into the economy. We're offering some level of stability when we're talking about civic pride, economic stability, all of that. That is part of what Habitat does. We're changing the life of this one family. The impact is so much greater. So you're talking about a neighborhood and a community. We did our dedication the other day, and Sheriff Klein came and talked about, in this particular neighborhood, the amount of calls they did. Now, when those homes or houses or buildings are not boarded up, but actually have life in them, and they're increasing the economy, it protects our first responders because they're not here making those calls and they're not here doing those things. It has so many rippling effects. It's not just one family that is changed. Somebody I love dearly used to tell me the attitudes are contagious. So is help. Helping and putting in is contagious. I've watched so many people like, hey, I want to be a part of that too. And I'm so grateful. Like you said, that thank you list is a mile long. It is a mile long. So I'm very excited to see the neighborhood change, to see the neighborhood grow. We want to honor and respect that this used to be a very thriving neighborhood. And so I don't want to lose
They all have front porches, and they all have front porches for a reason, because the hope is that the families will sit outside and they'll see their kids riding the bikes. They'll see when somebody's Amazon package has been sitting there a day longer than what it should have. They'll see if somebody's out mowing their grass and then suddenly falls in a hole or something happens. They're going to have people that are paying attention, that are going to take care of each other. It's the nature of what neighborhoods are.
Right, because we don't have to like our neighbors, but we still look out for them. And that's just solid. It's absolutely solid. And that is, I think, is that the American way, the American dream? I think it's that thing where we don't always know our neighbors, but we begin to know our neighbors' habits. And we know to look out. And if a neighbor needs something because you see it, it's not even a question.
And we all do that, whether we realize it or not.
We were going to, McCarthy Acres was doing estate planning. And so me and the family went over to the chamber because the chamber was hosting it there. And as we were leaving, like, something doesn't look right. So I called my son. I'm like, who are those people? When I pulled up, they were by my parents' mailbox. And then they went to the neighbors. And then they went to another neighbor's. And I'm like, yeah, no. And now we got to get out the car. Now we got to ask questions. So I was late getting there. I talk to the neighbors all the time, but baby, why are you at their house? What are you doing? Why are you here? This isn't normal behavior. And so I called non-emergency.
What were they selling? Because we had a dude selling air purifiers the other day, and I'm like, seriously? Not roofs, not driveways, not all of the things?
I think it was some sort of building something. And they were like, oh, your house looked like it was fine. I also probably looked mean or slightly crazy when I came around that corner because I'm wildly protective of my mom, but I'm protective of all of my neighbors.
So you're going to have a family move into this house.
Yes.
The house next door will be sold. Ideally, another family moves in there, and the same with the third one on the end. And then what? So what happens after that? What's the next big challenge that you are taking on?
So I'm glad you asked that question. So again, this duplex, this side of the duplex is going to be sold to a Habitat family. They'll have their mortgage. The second side will be sold on market, same with the single family. Those funds will go towards phase two. Phase two is just the second portion of a larger neighborhood revitalization project. We've had to pivot that a couple times. So what we're looking at right now is doing another set of duplexes. So it'll be 4 more houses further down the block. And 2 of those would be habitat families, and then 2 of those would be on the market. So we could continue to do it again. Our largest challenge on this neighborhood revitalization is not so much the bringing it down. Every nonprofit, we need funds, but for us particularly, it is the cost of disposal.
You were telling me that earlier, and I was shocked at how much. It's one thing to be able to knock down what's there now, but nobody ever thinks about, then you got to get it out of there so that you have a clean slate to work from.
So before you even get started building, the astronomical cost just to dispose of it. I remember taking a hard swallow when we did this one,
And it was just one structure with a building, right?
It was a structure and a shed, and that was almost 10 grand. And that was just the disposal, because it cost us nothing to bring it down. And so I am worried.
What's on that piece of property?
So we have a 4-unit, each unit is 2-bedroom, 1-bath, quadplex that is slated for demolition, and then 3 more buildings that is slated for demolition. And that is a lot of things.
It's a lot. To be clear, these cannot be renovated.
No.
There is no way that you are able to go in and just take them down to the sticks. They really do have to go completely.
This is an older neighborhood, so as the codes have changed, the foundation requirements have changed, so we're going all the way down. Once you hit the foundation, being able to bring it up, make it something that is affordable, respecting the neighborhood. We looked at all the angles. We looked at all the angles. I'm sure planning and zoning was so sick of us at one point.
So you're going to need either money to have that stuff removed, or some random company that's listening and says, hey, I do that for a living, I'll just come take care of it for you and consider it my contribution to this project. Wouldn't that be the best case scenario?
I would love a fairy god person to come and get us to a place where we could start at the beginning without having to go under before we start.
And these 3 here, they were your first building project, right, for you?
With me in this position as executive director from beginning to end, yes. I came in the middle of a project back in 21 that was over on Orchard Street. That was fun, but I was in the middle of that. So really being able to see it from concept to battling it out, to selecting families, to here. And here didn't seem like it was going to come. The goalpost felt like it kept moving.
I love that now when you start this next phase, you are going to have to drive by this phase to get to that one. So on even the worst days when it's not the greatest news that you've gotten for whatever reason, you're going to drive by these 3 and go, we could do this. We've done this.
Oh, that whole we can do this. And I think sometimes you need that. So I'm on now my 3rd president since I started.
He's a good one though.
He is, but I'm looking at these 3 presidents. When I first started, it was Amanda Slate. This was a vision that she and the executive director at the time, Jessica Priest-Cahill, had this vision for what the street was going to be. The administration changed and came Deborah Sixay, and she picked up the banner and she ran with it. We've got Patrick Henry, and I love him to bits. He is such a doer, but on the backs of the previous board and presidents, we were able to get to this point. So I don't ever want to diminish anybody's action.
Just like this family that's moving in here, it was a process.
It was a process, girl. Such a process. And my thank yous, I talk about Frank Stankiewicz, Green to Ground, and I talk about Cody Warren from Warren Lee Construction, their families. I talk about all the people, but it's exciting for more than just the Habitat Board, more than just the family. It's exciting for a lot of people. The Rotarians are doggone awesome. Ken Evans was president at the time, and these lovely appliances that you see were a gift of the Rotarians.
And they are nice.
They are super nice.
I'm not sure I can reach a microwave, but they are nice.
Listen, one of our gifts, and I need to thank Ramsey's, they sponsored the gift to the family, which was toolbox and step stools, because these lovely low profile lights, I'm like, oh my God, how are you going to change those? It's been such an awesome view of what a community is supposed to be.
So how can people help? People are listening right now and the need isn't done because this house is nearing completion. What can people do? Do you need volunteers? Do you need donations? Do you need people on boards or committees?
All of those things. We need volunteers, and when I say volunteers, those volunteers are the people on the committees. We have openings for board members. The way we're trying to do this, because there's been a lot of false starts, is we're trying to see people in committees, like how do you work before we transition to the board.
They're pilot programs. We do that with United Way. United Way committees are a pilot program to see whether you are a good fit for the board, for us to you, and for you to us.
It goes both ways, because there are so many amazing nonprofits in Warren County. So if this isn't your fit, by no means take that personally. Just know that there is something that's a better fit for you. But you're right, it's meant to go both ways. I am sitting in that space of, I just want to see the doers, and right now I have a board of doers. They are out here, you see them throughout the community. They're doing amazing stuff, but what we need right now are to grow those committees. I just put an ad out, so if you haven't seen it, look on Indeed to look for a part-time office assistant, so that I can pivot what I'm doing a little bit more, so that we can find those capacity building grants, so that we're able to do what we do more. I think you and I have talked about our repair program. Habitat is so much more than just building houses. So it's that education piece, it's that advocacy piece, but having those volunteers who have a heart for that service, whether it's somebody that's in admin, someone that's in marketing.
I don't know who she's talking about.
Marketing, Janet. Somebody that's in marketing, somebody that's got the artistic vision, construction. There is not a space or need or a talent that can't be beneficial to Habitat. That's the best way to put it. And it's not limited to physical, any of those things. There are no limits to people who can help. Some people are beautiful writers. Oh, great. If you like to write, baby, call me. If you are good with grants, honey, I'm easy to find. I'm all over the place, so I'm not always in the office, but I'm easy to find. There is a space for you in one of the Habitat committees. And so watching those grow will make a difference. I'm looking for somebody in our family support. Right now, family support is helmed by Dr. Matthew Rosario, who's also on my board. Hannah Beeman from Play Favorites is on our board. She's handling marketing. Charles Nolan from Main Street Geek is on my board. He's like, hey, let me play in construction. I've got great hands. Tell me how you want.
I don't know that I would trust him with a hammer, but okay. I know you're listening, Charles. I don't know.
His heart is so amazing. He has been a wildly consistent supporter of Habitat over the years. It just shows up. And again, being able to see these names that I just mentioned, you see them in the community. You know that their hearts are pure. They're in it for the right reasons. But being able to have a fully functioning committee will allow it to continue to grow. So I want to be able to grow that repair committee. We just got a grant from the Rotary Club of Warren County, Ride with Rotary. We were a recipient of that. So right now we've partnered with Access Independent to build a couple of those ramps. So
Day of Caring's coming up, so I'm not leaving here without you telling me that you've got projects for us to do for Day of Caring. And that was funny because I was like, let me put Janet's email right here. So I did see that. I was like, okay, I know that's coming. But the Day of Caring. In previous years, we worked with the DECA kids at Warren County. We've had Town of Front Royal employees come and do service with us. Ellen Aders and her entire team have been out there. Justin Proctor helping to clean up, making sure we didn't take down native trees. Yeah, Justin is handy for that.
But you see what I'm saying? These are people in so many different areas of life that have been invested in what we do. And so I don't ever want to not say thank you. The local businesses, from the restaurants and the stores and the shops, they've been supporters of us. And so I don't want to leave anybody out. And I say thank you at the moment and at the time, but my thank you just is never ending.
So website, first place for people to go?
Listen, remember that time I said I was working on committees? So right now we have a committee working on that.
Let's go with Facebook. That's an easy one. People can send you a message on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook, you can still get me on our website, but it's changing and transitioning. So if you ever try to get to it and it's down for a second, just know we're working on it. But yeah, Facebook, we've got all of these things, but being able to have people that will man those, that like to do that, that enjoy those things, that won't take them a week, or shall I say 3 to 5 business days to do something, is what we're looking for. But once those things are up to speed and people are able to see what's going on, we were just a recipient of Reaching Out Now. We're really trying to collaborate with a lot of people, because a lot of the things, guess what? Housing plays a part in that distracted kid in school.
Of life. Yes.
It's everything.
I will break some news here with you first. So housing is just one piece of the puzzle. The United Way campaign this year is building community together. Yeah. Many pieces, one puzzle.
Amen.
And housing is a corner piece in every puzzle you put together.
Yes, ma'am.
It just is.
It is. The level of mental health that is impacted by housing stability, that talks about the distracted student, that talks about the distracted worker. That is a large part of whether you can actually breathe, wondering tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow's never promised in any way, shape, or form, but still, that housing piece, having that level of security changes the whole perspective on how you're able to move. I watched the situation change for a young lady, and I watched her creativity come back because that stress was gone. It's amazing the stability, like that hole that was just being dug because there was no way out.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. And so I like that tagline, Janet.
Well, thank you.
I do.
I wish I could say it was mine, but I stole it from another United Midwest America. Actually, I came up with the concept, and then Kim found the idea to steal. So it takes a team.
I know. It does. Listen, my family, we always talk about it takes a village. It really does take a village. It just does.
And Habitat's building their own right here on Osage.
We're hoping to extend it beyond Osage, and so wanting to partner with our government, partner with people who have maybe land, whether that is to gift it to us to sell, because we like to keep the land that we use for building closer in town to families. So if they have a hiccup, they can still get
transportation, any of the other things.
They can get access to it. We've had somebody that's donated land that was high on the mountain that we were able to sell, and that infuses money back into the organization, so we can work on those programs, that we can do the repair program, and we are not charging for repairs. But it cannot open unless we have money to do repairs. So people often think that we are, again, serving a demographic that we just don't serve. These are homeowners. Maybe they're your mima. Maybe they're somebody in your church.
They are seniors. They are our veterans. They have served our country and now are living in a house with a leaky roof where there's mold everywhere. Or they are living in a house where paint is peeling off the walls, or plumbing has been rigged from this place to that place to make water come out in the sink. It is crazy the amount of things that our seniors, our veterans, and our working people that are checking us out at Walmart, that are cashing our check for us at the bank, that are teaching our children.
Say it.
It is crazy the amount of the conditions that some of these families and these people are living in.
And can I just say, you just made my heart feel so good that you understood all of that. Because you know that. And I mean,
I am very comfortable in my soapbox. You know that about me.
But a lot of people don't know that. And so there's a lot of myths and misconceptions about Habitat. But you gave it right there. It is everybody. It's your pastors. It's all of us. But guess what? Generally, the people we want to help or who need our help are not going to ask for help. It is the neighbors. It's the people who love them that tend to reach out to us. And I can't say, oh, yes, fill out this application until we have the money to do so. Whether it's fundraising, whether it's those grants and donations from the organizations that think we're worth it and want to be a part of that. And we are so grateful.
All of it. All of it is what it takes to build that village.
I really think that our repair program will make a...
Well, the best way to make somebody be stable, have their housing be stable, is to keep them in the home they're already in.
Amen. Oh my God, talk to a doctor.
I mean, duh.
You're right, it's just being safe in your home. You heal better when you're safe in your home. We have mitigated fall risk for seniors. We've had somebody with a breathing issue that could barely go from A to B. Imagine trying to get in and out of a tub. Those are the things. We're really trying to make sure that you're living your best life, and this, what is supposed to be your safe space, turns into your trap. It's crazy. And the people, like I said, people sometimes get weary, especially our seniors, are scared to ask for help because they think somebody's going to put them out of their home. And we don't want to do that. We just want to keep them safe in their homes.
Thank you for inviting me over and for hanging out and chatting with me about all this today. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of all the work that your organization has done, and I am super proud of this family that is about to move in and start a life that they probably had no idea that they were going to be able to have access to.
I am grateful. I am grateful for the people that stuck around for the ride. I'm grateful for the people that made sure the wheels did not fall off. And I am grateful for this family that believed in us enough, even when the days looked like they were darkened and this day was never coming. I am grateful. I'm so proud of this family. I'm excited for these children. Christmas is going to be amazing this year. Santa came early. I'm super jazzed about it. And Janet, thank you for always supporting what we do and telling the world thank you.
Well, that's it for me today. I highly recommend reaching out to Andrea if you'd like to get involved, whether that's volunteering, donating, joining a committee, or just learning more. I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, just a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.